My name is James, and I hope to find you in good health and in peace. I come to you today to present part 2 of what we discussed last time, a response to this coronavirus that has overtaken the world. Last time we talked about the golden root, quote unquote, and tonight we're going to be talking about the golden milk. I've since done much research and looked into this carefully and examined the makeup of the coronavirus, how doctors and researchers are trying to disrupt the virus. So there's a lipid envelope around the virus that carries it, and that's its Achilles heel. And there has been research done into the effects of mouthwash on the coronavirus with very hopeful results. They're thinking that the alcohol in mouthwash, ethanol, can kill the coronavirus. And so when you are using mouthwash with alcohol or ethanol content, it is able to disrupt this virus, or more specifically, it disrupts the envelope which carries it. There are two types of medicine in the world. There's the Eastern medicine and the Western medicine, to summarize it.
According to Wikipedia, Ayurveda is a system of medicine with historical roots in the Indian subcontinent.
We have this notion that science is only something that can be produced or reproduced in a laboratory. But in this day and age, anyone can go out there and pay for research to be done and come to certain conclusions. A lot of people are disingenuous in what they label science. Science is also something that you go out there and try to disprove, and if you can't, and the point remains, then something is scientific. In the ancient times, people didn't have the technology we have today. So they relied on other means. They have done studies over prolonged periods of time of certain effects of certain roots on human beings, on certain diseases, and they recorded these things. That is also a type of medicine that's still used throughout the world. Turmeric versus viruses.
According to Science Daily, curcumin, a natural compound found in the spice turmeric, could help eliminate certain viruses, research has found. A study showed that curcumin can prevent transmissible gastroenteritis virus, an alpha group coronavirus.
Eastern versus Western medicine. I believe that it's good to have both. I had this relationship with a girl in Chicago, and she was going into the medical field, and she was very disappointed with the medical system here in this country and in the Western world in general, because more and more it's geared towards profit as opposed to helping the individual. Doctors in America are not even required to take the Hippocratic Oath. Do no harm. Now, insurance companies have placed quite a few restrictions on what doctors are able to do, what doctors are able to advise patients. A lot of things they can't really charge for, therefore people are left to their own devices to basically go out and research, and there's so much information. So that's why I want to kind of present certain things I found to be helpful for myself, and you guys can go out and do them very easily. It really isn't that hard to grasp that there are natural remedies to address some of these things that are going around. Now, I won't touch on some of the controversial issues with certain medications, with doctors saying that other things are able to treat the coronavirus patients, but I can say with certainty that the Eastern medicine approach can also be very beneficial to your health. And what I would like to have is a discussion where the facts are presented to me, and we then get to make up our minds about what we're dealing with here. This whole coronavirus is a bit of a mystery. So people, they go to work, they don't have time to look into these things. There's a lot of confusion, a lot of information, a lot of misinformation. So I just want to state my opinion on it. It is a real virus. We don't really 100% know where it came from, because some of that stuff seems to be either classified or hidden from us. So it's a bit of a mystery, and I've had a bit of time to look into it. I have my own conclusions about it. But certain people say that it's not even a real virus. I do not believe that. I believe that people do die from it. But I do believe it's not as scary or as terrible as some people might think. There are things that you can do to make yourself less susceptible to this disease. And so this is what I want to bring to your attention today. I want to talk about steps that you can take, very concrete and straightforward things you can do on a daily basis to guard yourself against the coronavirus and other things that are going around. I want you guys to sort of wake up and address the critical issue of health. Health is one of the pillars of wealth. If I looked at the big picture, I want to summarize it in a concise way and boil it down for you guys. What are some of the best things you can do right now as research is still being done, as there aren't solutions that doctors are able to or allowed to prescribe? This whole situation with COVID is very concealed and they're very secretive about it. As soon as it came out of Wuhan, there was a lot of confusion. There were a lot of conflicting messages, complaints and reports that evidence was hidden and wiped. So we are trying to get to the bottom of this because everyone thought we'd be done with the situation by summer. And yet here we are, and we're still dealing with all of this. Now, something that's hidden in plain sight, when you go to any grocery store here in the Western world or any supermarket, they have these little health shots. It doesn't matter what the brand is. I'm not selling any of these or making money on them. This is just for demonstration purposes because I found that a lot of people don't know about this. All of the immunity shots will have either ginger or turmeric or both. And for example, if you take one of these, it says that it's the ultimate proactive defense combo, which consists of ginger root, cold pressed, turmeric root, cold pressed, and black pepper to activate the turmeric. It makes it easy for you. Now you can put things like this even into your coffee, make it a latte. It's called the golden latte, or the juice of turmeric is referred to as the golden milk. This is something that was thought of by doctors. It even says on the bottle, doctor crafted. This is made for you to guard yourself against these types of diseases and viruses, for you to boost your immune system. On the back of one of these packages, it says these things are delivering what the doctor ordered. Now, if you look at the side and back of these, it's showing these roots cut up. The turmeric root as well as the ginger root. The turmeric is more orange as opposed to ginger, which is more yellowish or even white. And in the back, it says, delivering what the doctor ordered. So I'm not a doctor, but there's a lot of doctors that have developed these health shots that you could be taking with very minimal, if any, side effects. So what I'm advocating is for everyone to get in their best health possible, because that's the true wealth. Health is one of the main pillars of wealth. People would give any amount of money to get their health back. Let's get you guys back into your optimal shape, optimal health, and keep you that way so that your body can do most of the work and not some drug or vaccine, even though there's room for that too. There's Western medicine and then there's Eastern medicine. And it's best to keep both in mind. There's a time and a place for Western medicine and technology, which is technology and chemically driven, but we cannot let go of the thousands upon thousands of years of experience and records of Eastern medicine. This is what I'm advocating today. I believe this is a real virus. I believe it does go after people. It unfortunately goes after the weak. I personally am aware of people that have died from this virus. And at the same time, I have been interviewing people that went through this disease and came out of it. And it's interesting because there's a family that the whole family came down with it, except for one guy in it. He was the father, he was the oldest. And he tells me he takes lots and lots of ginger with honey and lemon every night. He's the only one who didn't contract the virus. His son got it, his son's wife got it, his wife got it, he didn't get it. Now, I understand this is anecdotal evidence, but there is enough proof and evidence out there to suggest that these types of things will keep you healthy. So the main ingredients always in any of these shots, these are all different brands, and it doesn't matter which one you get, just make sure it's organic, preferably cold pressed and fresh. Look, it says, this is an immunity booster shot, immunity defense, featuring ginger, turmeric, and so on. And usually turmeric is activated by black pepper. Now in the first video, I did say that turmeric is a bit more complicated because you can't just chew on it raw like you can on ginger or make tea with it easily. But here, this is a solution for you, and don't save money on your health, be proactive. Get back into your best shape, become your best you. Use the tools that are available to us in our modern world. Sometimes truth is stranger than fiction, and a lot of times the solution will hide in plain sight. As it is also with this pandemic we're dealing with, we are told over and over again that the solution to this many times is good health. So we've done a brief overview of the research that doctors have conducted around the world, and they came to the conclusion that having a healthy weight is vital. So we are faced with the paradox that it's been such a long time now. We're so far into this pandemic and have yet to discover an actual cure. Nevertheless, there are doctors that are conducting studies that are showing that there is a way to kill this virus. Now think about it. If you can wash your hands and it'll die on your hands, or when you use hand sanitizer that consists of alcohol, well, some people have made the logical conclusion that, well, what about alcohol, in your mouth or in your throat to kill the virus? And they've done studies on that at places like Oxford that are now saying that oral rinses have the potential of targeting the viral lipid envelope in SARS-CoV-2 infection, which is coronavirus. But this is something you have to do on a continual basis. This is another tool you have. I'm going to include a lot of these links in the description below. I'm also going to include my email where you can reach out to me. We are going to have tools for you to get back into good shape, good health, and reach your goals as far as your weight goes, to get back into your prime. I am trying to steer away from politics. I am multicultural, multilingual. I'm exposed to a lot of different information around the world. I'm able to review it, I'm able to understand it, and I want to present to you guys the most cutting-edge, sophisticated recommendations on how to respond to different kinds of global events and global issues. We have a lot more in common than we think sometimes. We just don't have the information presented to us in a responsible way. Now, my job here is to, devoid of passion or biases, to present information as I see it, as objectively as possible, regardless of my own politics, religion, and other factors. To be honest in my presentation and my approach to handle these issues. You can watch this on your own time, on demand, on your own terms, and interact with me through my channel. Feel free to comment, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one.